My ceiling is nearly ready for insulating now. I'll put some centre battens in. I need to put some side battens there. I put the side battens in here. There wasn't much to fix to over there, so I've put the little corner bracket. I've glued it as well, and then the expanding foam. So when I use a hammer on the ceiling covering, it's not going to knock that upwards. The reason I haven't expanded foam all the way across is because I've seen a lot of videos where people are using vapour barriers and there's water trap behind it. So I'm going to do a ventilated cavity system. So for this one, there's no timbers either side, so it's both the fixing brackets either side and the glue. The way I've done this one, was by doing a compound cut on it. It just takes a little bit of messing around to get it right, but it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm not even using an angle on this, I'm just doing it by eye. So I'm going to cut these and then I can glue this final one in here. The joining the boards will go on this one here, so I'm just going to do the back for now. I'm going to not go all the way to the back, I'm going to start on this one and then I can scribe this back piece in. So I can get one board up and insulated to this section, and then it's just this section, but we've got a fan to fit, we've got some wiring to do, we've got a wall to build, so we've got more work there to do, but we can get some ceiling up and deal with this after. So I've got my first ceiling board up. It's not nailed up yet, it's just held in place. So the way I done it was I lifted it up, I put this straight edge across the middle of the rafter because I know that it's going to be square there, so that's where I want it to be. And then I put this little block in, and then at the other side I put one that turns. So we put it up, turned it, then I marked where the beams were, cut them, and then done the same on the other side. But when I done the other side, I put it in here first, and then pushed it up and marked them. And then we got these little turny blocks, just so you can push it up and down, and then it locks it in place. And then we're using this upright to jam it up against the ceiling. I'm gonna fix it with an annular ring shank now. Got little rings around the edges and a bit barbed, so they hold it in there. Once it goes in, it's hard to pull out. So it means that the ceiling's not gonna slowly come down as it bounces up and down. For the ceiling, I'm using a 40mm PIR board. The most of the roof is about 55mm from the bottom of the timber to the roof. I want an air gap. I also have a curve in the roof, so I need to push the corners up a little bit more so the middle's flush. This one also needs to be notched out along this structural part. And it's a bit smaller here because the roof starts to curve down. This should just fit in. I need to get a little cable up here for the light, so I'm not going to push this one fully in. But in the corners is where you want to push it up more, so the middle is flush, because this probably won't bend with just the ceiling covering we're putting on. So you try and put it on and it might sort of go squared a bit. So if we push it right up, then the board's going to follow the curvature of the roof when we put that up. It's a pretty easy job, so I haven't really covered it too much on this video. This back bit of the ceiling's a little bit more tricky, so the way I'm doing this is I'm scribing it. So the widest point is in the middle there, which is 45cm, and the lowest point is at the edge of that black mark. That is also as wide as the board. So I'm measuring from there, overlapping the board and marking 45cm, both sides, and then I'm cutting the board to 45cm. Then I'm putting this batten up here on that 45cm line, and then I'll put my board in there and scribe it in. It's about 50mm. So now I'm sticking my board against that batten, and I'm using 50mm tape to scribe it in. You can't really see there, but basically running the tape that way across there with a pencil to get 50mm away from the line. So it's giving me the shape of the roof. Then I'm going to trim that on a jigsaw and then test it and then fine tune it to get it to fit. That's the back piece of ceiling fitted. So as you can see, it's nicely scribed into there, nice neat finish. It's going to be hidden anyway, but I always like to do a nice job. And now I'm just waiting to do the front. A little bit more wiring up there to do. Bit of insulation, little bathroom fan extractor, and a light in the bathroom. The light's ready for the front. Just got to wire up the main fan and insulate around it. And get some more board, because that's all I've got. I knew I couldn't do it straight away, so I didn't want too many materials in the van to get in the way. Now I've finished the wiring in the ceiling, I've also fitted the bathroom fan. That means I could finish the insulation, and we've also drilled all the ventilation holes in the side of the van to vent the ceiling. The next job would be to finish boarding the ceiling, and then we can undercoat the board. This piece has already been undercoated twice. We'll be ready for the top coat as soon as the other piece is ready. The ceiling is now finished and had 2 coats of undercoat. Just got one light to cut out above me, and then we can get the top coat of paint on here. The ceiling is now complete. It's had 2 coats of undercoat and 2 coats of satin wood. I do want to put some LED strip lights and some slats along the roof, but I am going to concentrate on the rest of the build for now, and I'll do it later on.